welcome to another episode of Nerd Age. This is the show where we talk about everything nerdy. My name is Mick, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts Josh.
What's up?
Corey.
Hello.
Yeah.
Was it 2 in a row, though?
And
like
Jonah. Jonah's here as well.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, guys? We're going to jump into some Last of Us Episode 9, the season finale of Season 1. We're going to just go full spoilers, so if you have not watched this episode, I guess, or play the game, make sure you go do one of those things.
Or play the game.
Play the game, come back.
And then come back.
It's a short game. It's only like 10 hours.
Join us for the spoiler talk. So you have been warned. So how do you guys want to jump into it? Jonah, do you want to start us off?
I guess. Yeah, I'll start us off.
All right.
I was a little surprised that this episode was so short. It felt like the shortest episode of the season.
It was the shortest episode.
And that caught me a little off guard. I think for the most part, the quality is good on this show. I really like the quality of the show. If you listened last week, I wasn't really vibing with the whole Joel stuff. And I kind of felt the same at the end of this episode. The coolest moment for me, and I just thought this was really well done, is when he goes through, and I know I'm jumping ahead because more stuff happened before this, but when he goes through and he's killing everybody, the music throughout that I thought just was really awesome. How that was shot was really cool. I don't know how that compares to the game and anything, but I just thought that was like the quality of that scene and the buildup of that, I just thought was really good. But again, for me, if my complaints are, everything seems so dour. Again, it didn't really leave me feeling great. And I know that's the point, probably. Like I said, I think the quality is great on this show. The acting is fantastic. I think the girl that plays Ellie is really good. The opening scene was really cool, to see how Ellie is basically immune, and I know she's the voice actress.
My girl Ashley Johnson, bro.
And she's on Critical. Is it Critical Role?
She killed it, bro. She killed it,
and she got killed herself.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was really cool how it opened, and to get that flashback kind of thing. Again, I think the acting is great. The performances are great in the show. Everybody's been really good. The quality is really good. But if I'm honest, like, to me, it just didn't. I'm kind of glad it's over.
Well, that's season 2, baby.
We're just getting started.
But I know, but
it's going to be more than 2 seasons.
But it's going to be a while till we get that.
Seasons.
I don't know. It just felt like as the season went along, and again, my biggest problem, I think the most interesting aspect of the show were the clickers, and I feel like they basically disappeared towards the second half of the season. Like there weren't really any clickers or anything like that.
It's not so much like, against the zombies. It's more against the people.
Yeah.
I think overall, that's probably my biggest knock on the series is they really
more zombies.
They really lent into the drama side of the story, which I think they did amazingly. I think that was perfect the way they did it, but I really felt it was lacking some more kind of action-y, infected stuff to break up a little bit of that. And after finishing the series, it was like, I missed a lot of that, because a lot of that got cut out. And I think that from a certain point of view, I think it makes sense, because a lot of that is just like from a certain point of view, a lot of that is just the, like, you actually playing through it.
Right.
It's
Gameplay
not like cutscenes.
mechanics.
It's gameplay stuff. So I get it why they did it, but I think to at least allude to it here and there, because at the end, think of it, if I haven't played the game and I'm just watching the show, and they're talking about, like, we need this cure for this, cure for that, and then it's like, when's the last time we actually saw an infected? Like, what is this cure again? Like,
what are we curing again? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I said, the quality's there. I'm just, like what I said last week with the characters, I feel like I can't really root for anybody. It's hard for me to kind of I thought I'd be like really invested in Joel's character, and I just wasn't. So I think that makes it harder for me to kind of enjoy it because I feel like I'm not really rooting for anybody. And again, going back to what I said last week, I feel like he's not a good person, and I feel like no one's a good person in this show. But even this episode kind of drove that more so to the point where I'm like, yeah, you kind of made the wrong choice.
That's crazy talk.
From
That's
my
crazy
perspective. And then when he kills I can't remember her name, but the lady at the end,
Marlene.
that also was like, am I supposed to like this guy? It just felt
that's really surprising me because if you don't mind me saying, you are the only, as far as I know.
Yeah, maybe if you have kids.
As far as I know,
maybe
you're the only
kids.
father here out of all of us.
He's not her dad. He's not.
Yeah, but I would say
surrogate father
paternally, but like it's an adopted.
I just knew that would hurt you guys if I said.
Well, no, I think that hurts adopted children and their fathers more than anyone
we
here.
apologize to everyone out there who doesn't have biological parents that they have a paternal relationship
it felt
with.
like they spent 3 days together in the last 2 episodes. So
Did you not get the changing of the seasons?
No.
I mean, it was at
His
least
hair was
it was
longer.
at least 6 episodes, so you're off by a little bit.
So I just
No, the reason why I bring that up is because in the behind the scenes stuff they talked about when they were going through the game and developing the game, they would ask the people that were just, testing the game, like how they felt about Joel's decision at the end. And they said it was 100% all the parents said Joel did the right thing. And everybody else was like 50-50 if he did or not.
I think it's different though. And I said this when we talked about this before. I think it's different if you've played the game as opposed to if you've just watched the show. Because I feel like if you've played the game, you have more of an attachment to Joel.
Like you feel like you are
hours.
Joel.
You spend more hours with those characters together. You're more invested. You're actually playing as them. So that is something. Whereas I just feel like the show didn't do as good of a job developing Joel's character. And for me to feel invested in that final decision, again, if I go back to these certain moments, I just felt like it was kind of rushed. Like even the aspect in that one time when they're in Wyoming or whatever, and then he says, I'm not your dad, I'm not your father. And then he says, you're going to go with my brother. And then the next scene is him being like, all right, well, let's go. So I just felt like those kind of stuff just happened so quickly that for me, it didn't allow me to get invested in Joel's character. And I think that's where it's different from you guys, because you guys are already invested with that character. So you guys are bringing in all that kind of like hours you've played to be like, oh, that's the character of Joel. And Pedro Pascal does such a good job at it that I just think it's easy for you guys to be like, you already are taking in experiences with that character that I don't have. Does that make any sense?
I will say most people I've talked to that haven't played the game feel the same way, regardless of whether like they're not bringing in that attachment. So I don't know. I just don't think it connects with you for whatever reason.
The same way.
Feel the same way that they connect with Joel. So they feel the same. They're like, they're seeing the progression of his character, and they haven't played the game at all. They're just kind of like just. And if you think about it, to beat the game, it's like a 10-hour game. Yes, and we've got like a 9-hour show. So they're comparable. The amount of time you're spending. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, you're spending more time just running around looking through drawers in the game.
It's true.
So I would say this is probably one of the few cases where the amount of time spent with the characters is more or less comparable to what you spend in the game.
Yeah.
I do get what Jonah's saying, though, because like it is different when you're actually playing the person. And I know it's not like an empty shell of a character where like you literally are who you're like choosing to be in the character. Like you're still playing somebody else, but I do understand like it is a little bit different. But at the same time, I do feel like the show developed his character a lot more than in the game.
I didn't play all of the game. There, I said it.
Oh, you said it.
I fessed up to it. So I'm kind of in between there.
Yeah.
I think I got Last of Us for free or something like that with like a package or something like package deal. But it was older when I got it. I hear what you're talking about, where you're like, I'm not fully committed to Joel's character or won over by him. I think it's hard to be won over by him completely because he's a bad guy, right? like was a really bad guy. He went through all these like traumatic things and had to make all these tough decisions. So it's hard to be in love with a character who is 100% gray, right? There's no like, there's little redeeming factors here and there, choices that he makes, but it is hard to fully be like, I'm a Joel Stan or whatever they say, because I love him so much. He's so awesome. No, man, he kills people and he did a lot of bad things. And the decisions he makes are super questionable, if not wrong. So for me personally, I'm not like 100% a Joel fan because of what he did in his past, but because of the things that he does in this series or this game, those are like fully transformational decisions that he's making. And you see these character progression choices. Like every time he makes a hard decision to like put Ellie over, it's like, oh, it's just a job. Oh, she's just luggage or whatever it was. Cargo. But then halfway through, it's like it's changing. You can tell. And even in this last episode, you see he's like 100% transparent.
Yeah.
Which I could see if you said that felt too quick. But in my opinion, there's time jumps here. And you have to imagine that they're spending a lot of time together. And every time they're like, we see their interactions, it's all like near-death experiences. If I went through near-death experiences with someone, I would feel super close with them, you know? And so I understand why at the end, he's just totally like 180 degrees switched up to, I feel like I'm your dad, like completely. Yeah. Like, oh, you would have liked my daughter. Like, oh, she would have liked you. You're funny, you know? And like, oh, I'm down to hear some puns. Like all these full circle kind of like themes that were going in. I thought those were endearing. I think the last episode's very endearing. I will say that at the end, that decision is meant to be like super sketchy. Like,
right? Yeah,
he killed everyone. Like it's also like when you have like a superhero and they make these tough decisions because they have the power to do something so crazy. It's kind of hard to relate to it because I know I couldn't take out an army of dudes in a hospital.
Oh, you could. Don't sell yourself short.
But he did, which is nuts to me. But it's just kind of like, okay, I get the message they were trying to do there in that last part was you'll do anything for love and for the people you care about, even if it's, you know, going over this line that he's gone over before. So it's easier for him to do that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from though. Yeah, it's kind of tough to relate to a guy like that for sure.
I mean, he's definitely he's a heavy character. He's so complicated, and yeah, he definitely makes choices where you're like, I don't know if that's right. But he's also a guy that's really like come back from the dead in ways where he really had nothing to live for. They talk about in the episode, which is actually a new thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure from the game where he was so low in his life that he tried to kill himself.
Oh, that wasn't in the game?
That was added.
And I love the line of Ellie thinking that she's understanding what he's saying. And she's like, yeah, time heals all wounds, right? And he's like, no, time didn't do it. And I love those two characters because there's always like some kind of unspoken thing between them. Like they just can't come out and say like, I love you, you're my daughter. I love you, you're my dad. And I think it goes a lot to the writing of the show. It's so well done where like obviously we all get what they're trying to say to each other and it just comes across so well. And of course, Pedro and Bella Ramsey have just taken that and done such a good job with it.
Yeah. It's I mean it's not for the faint of heart, you know. It's a tough story and it's hard. The ending of this is really tough because it's like realistically, could the doctor have just and two nurses, by the way, I was just gonna say another little cameo. Laura Bailey, another voice actress, she was the nurse in the back that was like, oh, that's all she really did.
She got spared in the game. You can cap them just if you want.
Okay, there you go. Wow,
there you go.
She'll be back.
Joel's a good guy.
Good guy.
I did kind of be like, oh, don't shoot him. Don't shoot them. Because, he's like, turn around. I was like, oh, he's going to shoot him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So I was like,
See,
okay.
there you go.
well, there
Good
you go.
guy. Good guy, Joel.
Good guy. But I was going to say, like, what are the odds of them actually being able to cure this thing? Like, with this, like,
0 odds.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Zero
Like,
odds.
I think, I'm sorry. In my opinion, Joel did the right thing. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I think he did the right thing. Because I think the odds of them curing was like 0%. And I think that, first and foremost, they needed to ask her permission to kill her.
Right.
And so they didn't do that. Although I think what's her face was like, I think what she would have answered.
Right.
Though.
Yeah. Marlene says that.
She might have. What do you guys think? Do you think she would have said yeah?
I think she
Because by
would've.
the end of this, she's very frustrated and angry and she knows Joel's not telling
right.
her the truth.
She
She's not
knows.
stupid. She's smart.
Yeah.
Does that not get
Well, maybe
explained in see in
maybe
in
we'll
Last of
find
Us
out.
2?
We got
Of course,
We'll
it,
find
of course
out.
it does. Of course,
Yeah.
it does. I haven't played it, but of course,
Yeah, you explore that
just-
in the
of
second
course.
game.
she's gonna hate him for it.
I think for me,
So there's your answer. Then he did the wrong thing. If she ends up hating him for it, then it's
Yeah, but he saved her life.
yeah. So
You're welcome.
Let's not jump ahead.
yeah.
We're on season 1.
And
well,
it's,
you guys asked if I think he made the right decision.
well,
It depends
but
on
do
what
Do you
she
make
thinks.
decisions
Jonah.
sometimes for your daughter that she might hate you for? But is it the right decision?
But she really wanted to
yeah.
jump
Maya,
off that.
you can't eat that right now. It's poison.
Yeah, but
Don't
it's
jump into that river.
Yeah.
but
But I want to.
yeah.
And then she hates
I
you.
hate you.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little
That's
different.
100% right.
It's a little different when it's like a cure to save humanity or murder a bunch of people.
It's a cure,
That-
quote unquote,
well, I'm just
a supposed cure,
Right,
which
but-
has no scientific backing. They didn't do any tests. They didn't do any time, like a week of testing to see if it was even
Right. Yeah,
possible.
there's only- it's like the COVID
They got
vaccine.
one shot.
Bro, why were they just gonna just open her up, take the whole brain out, and
Yeah.
come on, bro, just take a little bit or
The
something
other-
like that.
yeah.
Like, come on, dog. That's brutal, man.
I think that's the
These absolutes.
I think that's the fun part about this game, and I enjoy it, is the conversation of did he do the right thing?
Yeah.
I think the hard
That's the whole point.
for me is I think removing her agency in it is wrong on both sides, and they're both wrong for doing that. Of
course.
So Joel doesn't give her an option, right? He's just
Yeah.
I gotta save you, which is I lean towards you did the right thing. You saved your daughter.
Right.
And same thing with Marlene and the Fireflies. They did the same thing. They're like, we didn't tell her anything. She's not going to feel a thing. She has no idea what's going to happen. I think if they would have given her the option, she would have sacrificed herself because she's been looking for her purpose,
Yeah.
and this is what's been giving her purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
She's like, this is my purpose. All these terrible things have happened to me for
Yeah.
some reason, and it has to matter. And if I give myself up to be the cure, I think that's
Yeah.
my purpose. So I think they're both wrong for removing it.
okay.
I think if Marlene would have
Led with
Ellie
that?
explain that to Joel, maybe it's a different outcome. If she lets
If she's the driving force,
Right.
Joel can't do anything about it.
exactly.
Because it's her choice.
So that's the
Yeah.
that's the
For sure.
what should happen. So they both mess up in that sense.
For sure.
What I did like the stuff they added at the beginning with Ellie's mom,
So good.
and having Marlene be there at the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like it adds more weight to her decision at the end, where she's like, I thought Joel would be the only one that would understand. In the game, she says that. So you find recordings around
Yeah, that's cool.
where she's like, Joel's going to be the only one that understands me. And it's like, yeah, you really miscalculated that situation. But I thought that was a really interesting aspect of that, where she's like, technically I've been taking care of her, which I feel like a lot of what she's did is like, I'm going to keep you at a distance because I don't want to get invested. So she did the opposite of what Joel did because she didn't want to have that reaction. And so that's what allows her in the end to be like,
Exactly.
I got to make the decision.
Yeah. But didn't that not happen until later? Like when she was locked up in that room, didn't it just happen like a month or two before that? So
Yeah, that's true.
So she had plenty of time to get to know her.
Right. But she didn't. She just sent her to Fedra.
Yeah, why though? Kind of a heartless, I'm kind of Team Joel.
Team Joel all the way,
I'm
baby.
Team Joel, baby.
I'm glad when he shot Marlene in the head, I was like, you got it coming.
See, but that's where I
Just
think
trying to cure
What?
humanity.
He was right. She was going to come after him.
I'm not saying that's
was
not
right.
true. But what I'm
Hashtag
saying
Joel
is,
was right.
I feel like the show, you guys are pulling stuff from the games in.
I didn't pull anything.
Well, I'm saying Josh's just explanation, like, oh, you find things around,
But
like
that's-
recording.
No, but I'm saying
of that first scene.
that first
they
scene,
showed.
that whole first scene in the show, we never have seen that.
So that was,
But
But you know
that's
more
a
about the
TV
Marlene
exclusive.
character.
They literally, you find notes places that are like, or you find a recording that's like, oh, I promised Anna that I was going to take care of her
It
daughter.
basically
That's
sums
it.
up
Which is what we saw.
kind of what that first scene did, and a little extra dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here and there.
But like when you say, oh, that she just sent her to Fedra, is that?
That's based off of what we know in the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't pay attention. But
I think that's we're getting to the crux of the issue here.
no, well, because no. So I'm just saying, like,
I don't
for
have
me,
any stock in Last of Us, so I'm not trying to sell you anything. You watched
me,
it.
that was kind of like, like it's hard for me to kind of
Ooh, I've got a question.
connect.
For you.
You know what I'm saying?
Which part are you talking about?
Let's connect.
Him killing her, Joel
She'd hunt
killing.
him. She'd hunt him down.
In a way, though, like, and again, that's also both of their faults, because she could have just was like, yeah, I'm dying, and then just kept her mouth shut. She was the one that was like, don't let me live. Let me get away. If she didn't do that, he probably would have just
That's true. I would have left her.
Yeah, well, I mean,
How about she should have died
okay.
more quietly.
I mean, yeah, she
Stop
got
making
shot.
so much
Yeah,
noise.
like,
Exactly.
I'm not
You know what
gonna
I'm saying? I'm gonna
I'm not
real
gonna
quiet.
blame her for being like,
I'm gonna bite my arm. You know?
no.
Don't make a noise.
Again, like I said,
Okay.
for me, the problem with the show is I don't see there's any good characters. As far as like characters,
You don't like Ellie?
no, I like her, but
You
I
like
just,
Joel?
but I just feel like it's hard for me to root for somebody when everybody, like we've talked about the nihilistic view of things, like everybody's bad, she's even bad. Like, how do you root for, like, oh, she deserved what she got, but you're like, yeah, but kind of Joel deserved to die because he's been a bad guy. So
we
it's
should kill
hard-
everyone that makes bad decisions. You're
No,
right.
but what I'm saying
that.
is,
I like
what I'm
that point of
saying
view.
is, what I'm saying is, in the context of the show, normally you have somebody that you're like, oh, that's a good character. That's someone
Ellie.
that I can. But when everyone else around that character, like Joel and Ellie are the main characters, but yet he's not a good person, it's hard for me to be like, well, everyone kind of sucks. Does that make sense?
Not
so that's where it's hard. It's hard for me. Again, we'll talk
Wait,
about
isn't
Lord of
his
the Rings.
brother
In
good?
Lord of the Rings,
His
there's
brother's a good guy. What's his name again?
Tommy.
Tommy's the man.
Yeah.
I like Tommy.
But what
I like
I'm
Tommy,
saying is,
homie.
I feel like
Tommy's a homie.
everything, like nothing good really happens. Like that was my point last week. Was I feel like anytime something like, oh, there's a glimmer of hope or something, there's going to be something hopeful that happens. It always gets undercut with, nah, this sucks. This world kind of sucks. So that's what
You know what, bro?
That's
I'm
where it
with you,
gets
dog.
hard for me.
You know what, bro? I got a lot of animes you can watch where there's absolute wins and good people. Like, you know exactly who the protagonist is, and every decision they make is 100% the correct one. You
That's
know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
talking about.
And it makes you feel good, man.
That's what I'm
Everyone needs that. And so I get it, man. If this is just, maybe it's a tougher time, you know?
It is, and so it
I
makes
understand that.
It would become like it makes
I'm
it hard
sure-
for me to be like I said last week, to me for be like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode because I'm like, ugh, like who are they going to kill this time? Like what
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
thing is going to happen?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there's going to be a
Wait,
kid in a
wait, wait.
wheelchair
So
with
wait.
cancer and he's going to get his brains blown out.
Were you excited when when Joel got stabbed and he was like out of the story for a little bit? Where you're just like, yeah, this is awesome.
Not really, because then they introduced cannibals and
Yeah, that was crazy.
sexual predator Cam. And
So you-
They got that
Yeah.
comeuppance.
So you never rooted for Elia at that whole time
no,
because you're saying there's no character you can root for.
Yeah, see,
No.
I was pumped when they like destroyed them. That was awesome.
No, I like
cool.
Ellie. I think she's a good character, and I think she's the one that, again, she's a child. She's like, she hasn't done anything that's bad. But I just feel like everyone else around her. Does that make sense? Like,
Man, I think
and for me, there's kind of an element where I'm like, I don't even think that she's gonna have a happy ending. Does that make sense? I feel like if she would have died, and she dies knowing that she cured people, right? That she was the reason. I feel like that's kind of a better ending as far as like hopeful, because it's like, okay, she does something for the good of everyone else, even the people that don't deserve it. She's sacrifices herself. and then she's out of this whole cycle of the pain and constant loss that she's facing. So I feel like that would have been a hopeful aspect.
And then Joel shoots himself in the head because he lost the one person he loves.
And then the Fireflies take the vaccine and they only give it to the people that they think deserves it.
They become the new world order.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, see, but that's my whole point. That's my whole point with this whole story. I don't think there's anything hopeful with it.
Here's realistically what would have happened. You take her brain out. This doctor's like, oh, wait, I'm not a neuroscientist. What am I doing? She dies. They don't have a cure. And nothing has changed in the world except Joel then kills himself.
Yeah.
Like, that is realistically what would have happened.
But see, that's what makes what happens at the end of the story so brilliant, because if they did go the route you're talking about, I feel like we've seen that before where the person at the end makes the sacrifice, there's a cure. When it's this level of decision making and disagreements, that's what makes the story like so long lasting to me and just stuck in my brain, because I don't think that there is like an actual right or wrong choice made. But the fact that they let Ellie live on in the story, it gives you that like discussion to have. If she dies, it's like, okay, it's just another kind of zombie apocalypse movie.
It's the end of the story. Obviously, the story continues.
But if there's a guarantee, yes, if you sacrifice your life, and yes, we will make a cure and it fixes the whole world, then yeah, there is a right decision, right? In my opinion. Like, sacrificing yourself for the greater good is the right choice in that case, if it's guaranteed that you can solve that problem, right? Like, if you could, like, cure cancer, but they got to kill you, do you offer yourself up to cure cancer in the world?
Depends if someone in my family has cancer.
Oh, so you're Joel. You're Joel.
I know what you guys are saying. I understand it.
Oh, no,
and
no,
I know
Can
what
we just
you're
connect
saying.
for a second? Okay, let's just connect. Okay?
Okay.
Let's just make this a little real.
Come together.
Okay?
Uh-oh.
So, you're in the same exact situation, and Maya is immune.
No, it's different.
How is it different?
Because
Maya has
Jonah
a cure.
doesn't believe that people that aren't blood related can have a paternal.
No, I'm not saying
they're not
that.
even that part of
I'm
it.
not saying that. I'm saying there's a difference between if you ask me, who has a connection with my own daughter, versus a show that, for me, didn't build that connection enough for me to feel that. Then it's different. Like, if it was done better or connected, and I connected in a better way to it, maybe it's on my end. If on my end I did a better job and I connected better, then that would make sense. But for me, there's an element where after 9 weeks of seeing the worst outcomes always happen.
9 weeks? Was it 9 weeks?
Yeah,
so.
9 episodes
Yeah.
of seeing the worst outcomes always happen. Then it just, the end of this season doesn't leave me, especially with how she's asking, swear to me, and he's lying to her. That's already setting up the fact that I'm like, it's all going to go to crap. Because this show, these games aren't interested in giving you a happy ending or something that's like lifts you up. It's more giving you that nihilistic view of things. So I'm just like, okay, what we're going to get.
Hey, what do you mean
is
by these games, bro?
Yeah.
I take offense to that.
Last of Us and Last of Us 2. That's what
do
I'm
you
saying.
mean, these
So
games?
in my,
You mean
for me
these
not
games?
knowing, I just think that gets me set up for being like,
Sorry.
something bad is going to happen,
But,
there,
Jonah, real
something's
quick.
going to get screwed up, and that's just the world they live
Jonah,
in.
do you pull the trigger or not? That's the
No,
question.
you're dodged the question. So, you're in the exact situation with Maya, and they took
Is it,
Maya from you.
is it the
Yeah,
apocalypse?
it's the exact situation. But just subbing you for Joel and Maya
I think
for
I would
Ellie.
have done a better job of
Slaying
communicating
out?
with the
Oh.
Fireflies, you know.
You would
And
have
then
done
we
a
would have
better
been
job when you were knocked out and they
Yeah.
put her in
before that
surgery.
they wouldn't have been able to, you know,
Knock you
get me
out?
from behind.
Really? Because you're
Yeah.
too short.
No, because I would have been aware. I would have been like, I would have been like, hey, give me some more jokes and stuff. I would have been like, no, hey, we're going through a town here, going through a city. We've been.
This is what I've been, Jonah. What's that up there? There's a lot of blurry things up there. I don't have my glasses.
if this
They have better
is,
hearing though. So that's a.
we've gone through 9 episodes
Sorry,
of them.
you dodged the question again.
Wait,
You dodged it again.
We've gone through
Son of a
9
bee.
episodes of them going through these towns and always getting attacked, and yet you don't think to kind of pay attention to your surroundings in the last episode? Come on, Joel, be better.
Okay, so answer the question.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You answered it.
It's
You don't know. Well, I think it's tough. It's tough. I mean, that's the point. Yeah, it's a more mature, and I get it. You're kind of against that gray, grayness of a story ending. I get it. I get it.
I'm not
It makes
against
sense.
the grayness of a story ending because I think, again, we're going to talk about the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch episode was pretty dark, and there's a similarities with certain stuff like Crosshair.
Definitely not as dark as the
No,
last.
but I'm saying
not
like,
even
but I'm saying like a guy that's done bad things and seeing kind of the redemption arc of stuff like that. So it's not to me that I don't like dark stories. Like I said, I relate it back to music and music I write and stuff like that. Like I like dark stories or things that are more emotional and deeper. But to me, this season, these episodes didn't really get me excited for more because of how it made me feel like, what's the point of this?
Sure.
And I know you guys say there's little victories and little things that are like the story they're trying to tell and this aspect of, like morality and humans and who are the monsters and all that kind of stuff. And I see that. But to me, it makes it hard to be like, is there not a payoff besides those little moments where he's like, I've got you, baby girl. And then knowing, okay, well, eventually something's going to happen. So those little moments.
Something's going to happen. What do you mean something's going to happen?
The way they set up the end of the season, to me, seems like there's not going to be.
But that shouldn't
future.
take away from the moment that you were watching that scene in that moment.
Right. But I'm
Right.
saying for me, those payoffs weren't enough for me. Does that make sense?
I really liked the emotional connection at the end of the last episode. I wasn't here to talk about it, but I really liked that part of it. That was a really imagine being, how old is she?
Like 14.
12, 13, 14?
Yeah.
And being in the situation like that is terrifying. Like seeing bits of humans and then they're trying to basically kill you, and then survive that. I will say that last engagement with the head honcho guy, in my opinion, wasn't as intense as it should have been. I know we didn't get to. I didn't get to talk about it, but it was less intense than I wanted. I wanted it to be a lot more intense. But I think that moment of breaking out and then running into Joel, that was a really nice moment. I really liked that a lot. And those are the key moments, and moments where he was opening up with her and they're truly connecting on that. And then they have the moment with the giraffe and stuff like that. That's just pure, you can see that pure emotion, and kudos to them. They're super good actors. She kills it. But it's
The giraffe was a
those
great
moments,
actor.
I'm just that's
real
so,
giraffe.
that's so nice. And that's what the story's about. Those moments. That's why when you're in those situations, I don't know, we're not in these situations, but
We've all been there.
having a purpose in life, why do you fight for? What do you fight for? You fight for family.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole focus. And so
It-
I personally really enjoyed that aspect of the story. Sure, I maybe wasn't let's go, Joel, murder all those dudes. I wasn't doing that.
I was but gotta do what
But
you gotta
more
do.
it's
bro.
I get it. You're fighting for what you love and the people that you love. You don't want to say goodbye to your loss is a terrible thing, and we all
Yeah.
experience it. And I get it. He's lost her before.
Yeah,
And she's about he's about to lose her again.
Yeah.
And guess what? He makes that decision to lose some other dudes instead of her. You know what I mean? These intense decisions that he has to make. For me, I'm this is dope in a way that's these are hard decisions to make. And he's making them right now. She's that's your option. Give him the stuff at the road. And he's that's not my only option.
Yeah.
It's so bad, dude. He's and we all know he can take them all out.
Right.
He's just so overpowered. But it's those moments, that accumulation of all those things. That's why I think they did such an amazing job on this first season.
Yeah, I think especially coming out of that last episode with the traumatic experience that Ellie went through, and seeing how she was at the beginning of the episode, super disengaged. You can tell like something's broken in her from that. And that scene with the giraffe is like kind of one of those first, like Joel sees her finally laugh again. You know what I mean?
Symbolism of innocence. And just purity.
And so I thought that was a really good moment. But yeah, and then just carrying that forward with like him being like, I don't want to lose her again. I thought that's what was really good and strong about the season. And I think what we've come to realize is that Jonah wouldn't fight for us.
Well, that is a thing I was going to bring up was, I used to have you on my A team. But I don't know anymore.
I don't think he has what it takes,
bro. I don't think you do. Like Bree, we famously, I don't know. I've told you guys this before, but Bree's like my wife. She's like, if there ever is a zombie apocalypse, I'm just jumping right in. I'm like, why?
Instantly give
She's
up.
like, I don't want you to have that
the weight,
and have to worry about me. I know you'd survive. So I'm just I can't do it. Is what she said. I was like, are you kidding me? What do I fight for then? It's just me and Pixel.
I want to see that scene where there's like just zombies outside and she just stands up. She's like,
Bree,
I'm going to go now.
Come with us. Love you, Corey.
See you later.
Doing you a favor. Well, she just jumps into a pile of them. Yeah. Well, all right. But yeah, no, I think that your point of view, Jonah, is super valid. I think that dynamic of Joel is never going to work for 100% of people, right? That just makes sense. And so I think having that connection with the game helps a little bit too.
It's just tough when you've seen the same character be a way better father in The Mandalore.
For sure. I mean, I was going to say the podcast that's like, or it's just a watch him show.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like
Pedro Pascal podcast.
You know, when you compare them, you're like, man. I mean,
he's the best dad.
This is definitely
to be fair, Pedro Pascal really isn't the Mandalorian half the time. So it's
it's his voice though.
This is definitely his best role though, by far.
Joel.
He was
Pedro
great.
Pascal,
Yeah. He was great in this.
Have you ever seen Wonder Woman 1984?
Flash was good.
I mean,
but it can be better.
I mean, he was a great father in that too.
Nah.
But didn't he do terrible things in that movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't he kind of a gray character?
He repented.
So I think
he gave people wishes, bro.
He was a genie.
He gave Ellie the wish of life. At the end of the episode.
Taking the others.
Yeah, they were kind of trash anyway.
Yeah.
We don't know.
They all deserved it. So I think pretty much easily the best video game adaptation. Right?
This sets the highest bar possible because...
Well,
get out of here. Dungeons and Dragons is coming, and it's going to be...
Blow this out of the water. Yeah, video game.
Dungeons and Dragons is a video game,
I mean, it's been a video game.
But it's a board game originally.
Yeah, board game. Come on.
Tabletop game.
Whatever.
Also, that's not out yet, so we don't even know. But no, I mean, this by far... is
but what about
best.
Mario Bros, my guy?
Hey,
Mario's going to be the best, and it was on my top 10.
Again, it's not out yet. I'm talking about the stuff that's been out that we've seen. You keep bringing up stuff that's not out yet.
Okay, you ever see Sonic and Sonic 2?
Boom. They're not very good.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
Yeah, they're okay.
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey. He's Jim Carrey. If you've seen him in The Mask, you've seen him in everything.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think that this is, really set the bar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just like writing. I mean, they have the benefit that the source materials
that definitely worked in their favor.
So that helps. But I mean, just the acting, execution of it all. It's what I wish more video games adapted into shows or TVs could be.
I agree.
Yeah, they did talk about the fact that, I saw some tweets that was talking about season 2 / Last of Us 2, and they said that it will not fit in one single season.
Yep, that's kind of what I
they're
figured.
going to go 2 and 3 probably, and then I don't know how long it's going to take them to rip through that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, are we looking at like a 3-year?
I say take their time. If it's 3 years, that's fine. Because
I say 2 years.
Yeah, but then what happens when Ellie looks like she's 37?
Well, there's a time jump
between game 1 and 2.
She does need to age up.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of...
Because it sounds like they are still keeping her as
Neil
Ellie,
Druckmann said that they'll only recast if she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
because there is a time. How many years is
4
it?
years.
Yeah,
so
but she looks significantly older in part two.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think you and I, Mick, were talking about that before. Of like, oh, are they going to recast? Do we keep her? Like,
Yeah,
what would we prefer?
because I love Bella Ramsey is perfect in the role, so I would love if she stayed on. But if they do it
I think
right,
she will.
then-
Nah, Zendaya. Recast her with Zendaya. And Tom Holland as Joel.
No, he's already messed up as a Naughty Dog character before. I don't want him anywhere near Naughty Dog.
I heard that movie was great.
Uncharted is the greatest video adaptation.
So bad.
It is, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, I didn't get through it. Unfortunately.
You didn't get through it? I didn't even try it. Dude,
Is it on
his
Netflix?
We got
scathing
30 minutes in, and then
No way.
we paused it, and I was like, "There's still like an hour left. This is terrible. Let's watch something else."
Good choice. Good choice.
Dang,
Anyways.
bro. That's crazy.
Anyway, I think that'll do it for.
I think
Last
so.
of Us, right?
Yeah.
Give us your rankings.
Oh, yeah.
Of the show as a
As a show,
what was I trying to say? I don't know.
No idea.
As a whole,
what's your score? Yeah,
what would be
as
the
a
score
collection.
as a
Yeah.
whole?
The whole
I think
series.
Whole series, it's a 9 for me.
I was also going to go 9.
Rookie scores. I will put an 8.7 on it.
8.1.
Yeah, that's really good still.
That's higher than I thought.
Yeah, that's still really good. And to be honest, it is a hard thing to do. Famously, video games are just the worst adaptations ever. And so, what a nice surprise this was for this year.
Yeah. And like I said, the thing that excited me most about getting to the season finale is that now I can be like, hey, did you watch The Last of Us? What did you think? Like, it's just a fun, like, conversation to have, I think.
Yeah, and having it as a actual series, like a TV series, it's more accessible. Like, you can't just be like, play this game.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like. Nah, they just have to watch it. So that's cool. Yeah. Did you talk to any, like, to
I have some people at work.
People from work
that she's been watching with her husband. So I'm like, all right, we'll talk Monday. See what you think.
Yeah.
I had a big debate with my grandma about
Really?
it. Yeah.
Was she Team Jonah?
Pro Joel.
Pro Joel.
Everyone that's good
Get rid of him.
is pro Joel.
Yo, your grandma's hard then. She's like, get him out of here. No ifs, ands, or buts, bro.
Butterflies out of here.
I like that.
All right. So, do you guys want to jump to Mando? Or?
Yeah, let's do Mando.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's talk about Mando.
So, speaking of Pedro,
Back to Pedro.
back to Pedro.
So Mandalorian.
Mandalorian episode 2.
The Mines of Mandalore.
The Mines of Mandalore.
Yeah, we get to see it.
I was when I saw the title, I was like, oh, okay. We're going right there.
We're there.
I thought for sure we were going to get like 2 episodes of
More
build
side
up.
missions,
Yeah, get up your gear, get the
level
IG
up.
droid. But no, we went straight to it,
Get
which
some
was
health
kind of
pods.
crazy.
Yeah. I loved seeing it in live action too. That was so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the whole planet.
Yeah, and
ruins.
like the Undercity part, because we saw that in Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, because you see the dome in
domes.
Clone Wars and inside of it in Clone Wars. But I was hoping. I'm pretty sure I saw Black Crescent in the background. So put me down for a
Besides
point.
eyes.
He was in the
We'll
background.
go back to Tatooine. There's still time.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting that they were like, we kind of skipped the whole IG thing.
Dude,
this was his
I
mission.
cheered when he just touched down, fixed her up, and dipped out. I was like,
You're like,
yes, no Boba Fett. Let's go. Because I was like,
He'll be back. He'll be back.
yeah, probably.
But yeah, it was funny that we got R5.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, R5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, to join up for the, he can join the mission.
Scaredy cat.
Yeah. Don't be a baby. That's my favorite line.
And last week, you guys said that we had a little bet that Bo-Katan was going to be the villain. I'm feeling like not only is she not going to be the villain, there's actually going to be a little love story
interest.
between my Din and Bo.
I mean, they can. She
Din-
can
my
still
Din
be.
and Bo.
Bo-Din.
She can still be the villain and be a love interest.
Well, yeah, but
true.
it seems like they're
Well,
setting.
It seems like you're just taking the bait. That's what it sounds like. They went fishing for a sucker and they caught a big one.
You really think so?
What?
Like you're actually being honest about this?
Oh, yeah.
You think they're going to
Absolutely.
make her a good, him and her a thing?
I think it's still too early to tell. It definitely is playing with it though, for sure.
She jumped in after him.
That's true.
Wow.
And
If that's not love, I don't know what is.
and she's kind of
Killing the whole
she's
hospital.
kind of fallen for
That's
him.
love.
The fact that he's so like firm and like, this is what I got. I got to baptize myself. I'm all about the creed. I'm all about the rules. Mando, and she's like, oh man, I'm like
Licking her lips.
Says,
I
okay.
like. That's what
he
she's
did.
doing
That's
under
what
that
he did.
helmet. She's doing under that helmet, biting that lip, and being like, kind of like a religious man. I kind of like a religious man.
Like a man with purpose. Yeah.
So
And he's been proven to be a good dad.
exactly,
like that
she's seeing
there.
all things. She's like,
Yeah.
and she even says, "Hey, did you think your dad was a young Mandalorian?"
Oh,
Like,
and
she's
she
like,
was like, "Oh, he's a really good navigator.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you taught him that? Wow, you're a good dad.
"It's all
Let's
I
date."
know." Yeah.
It's all coming
You
together.
can be my king.
And
I'll be your
he
queen.
has the dark saber.
Okay, let's talk about the dark saber real quick, guys. Why? How did you guys even question how she was flinging that thing around? Like it was
she's
She's used it
She's
before,
used it
right?
before.
Used it before.
yeah, but she's more with the like force than him.
she's connected with the
She's
blade.
connected to the kyber crystal, is what
Yeah.
they say in Rebels.
What they do with it?
So you train with it, and then
No,
it's
no,
just,
what'd she do with it?
she had it for a long time.
Oh, she just had
so
possession of
yeah.
it.
So in Rebels, Sabine gives it to her.
Oh, that's right.
So then I'm assuming
And she had it before that, right? I thought she had it for a period.
She's
before.
a bad wielder if she's lost it twice.
no, I don't think
already.
she had it.
But that makes sense. Okay, cool.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but she did
that
the
was
work with it.
sweet when
Yeah, it
she
was really
picked it
cool.
up, and
Yeah.
I liked seeing, because when he first brings it out, I was like, "Has he gotten any better?" And I was like,
Nah, he's gotten worse.
He sucks.
I like he's
sucks,
just like
bro.
swinging around,
Almost
like
falls
almost
off the
falling
cliff.
off. I was
Yeah,
like,
at least he didn't cut his leg this time.
Bro, yo, he needs to just attune to it, bro. He
I
just
know,
needs to spend an
exactly.
hour with it.
There you go, D&D.
Gosh.
There we go.
That's right.
You'll
Yeah.
learn about that in the movie when it comes out.
Probably, actually.
Yeah, but she was awesome when she got.
Yeah, seeing her like
yeah. Dude, it
grapple
just
it
felt
and
like
then-
Star Wars, bro.
it was sweet.
Speaking of that scene, that alien
That alien was
creature thing,
awesome.
so creepy.
Reminded me of Grievous.
Yeah.
For a second.
Wait, you don't think it's like a Babu Frick in there, dude?
Nah, dude. For a second, I
You don't
thought
think
it
it's
was
a
it looked
Babu
like it.
Frick?
for a
I
second.
don't think it's a Babu Frick.
I think it's a Babu Frick. He's like, he's got a little magnifying glass on his little eyeball. He's gonna pop out little Babu Frick.
For a second, I thought it was going to be Christopher Lloyd. Be like, oh no,
That's so good.
That'd be dope. He's going to come up and be like, oh, money.
Tiny head.
But but yeah,
cool,
so
yeah.
he was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I can't remember who said this, but someone was saying like, what if
It was me.
those are droids that were left like by the Empire to because he uses the Mando helmet
Yeah, it's like
as
a
like
trap.
a trap.
Yeah.
But they're like, what if they left those people there for any Mandalorian that
Yeah, to
came
clean
back
them up. Yeah.
to like kill them so that they always thought that the surface was
Probably.
Cursed. or whatever.
cursed. That would
But I was going to ask the question. So he was just like chilling in that droid for like how long just to trap him? Or do you think he
He
like.
could have sensed his ship or something and like got in position.
And he was like, he's like, I gotta
That's
get
why-
up that specific
That's
helmet.
why. That's why I
know.
think they're just droids that are like programmed to do that.
Oh, so you think there's more?
Yes, I think there's like they're all over the surface of the.
Why was it such an organic eye, though? You don't think there's a Babu Frick in there?
I think there was definitely something in
There's
there.
some kind of
and he was
manning it.
pulling out the blood for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so.
Yeah.
Because he's like probably needs
some
it
kind of
for his
use.
like
Oh,
strength to
Acting
use it.
fluid
dude.
scenes are always so creepy.
Some a little more to that.
Dude, it was sweet
Little
when
more.
Baby Yoda did the backflip into his little thing, and he's like,
Dude, yeah. I was like,
It
this
was
guy's
so
got a
awesome,
hovering
dude.
And then he
segue, bro.
shoves that guy out
Yeah.
of the cave.
Now,
That
just
was-
imagine if he's that good at this age. Imagine when he's older and he's got the Mando helmet and the dark saber
gonna
and
stay
he's
the same
ruling
size.
Mandalore and he's on top of the Mythosaur. Woo!
I saw people.
No, he's gonna grow, guys.
see
He's
him.
gonna grow goo.
He's going to grow goo.
I
I know. It sounds gross, dude. Whoever chose that name, in my opinion, bad name. He's growing
I like it. I like it.
Why is it
come again.
grow goo?
Yoda Grogu?
That
Yaddle,
makes no sense.
Yoda and Yaddle and
my
Grogu.
favorite.
Yodel,
reaction.
Yodel. Yaddle, Yoda, and Yogu would have been way better.
Yo,
That was just all wise. I don't know. It's like your family, dude. They all name their kids with the same letter.
It's tradition. This is the way.
This is the way. Yo, when he said this is the way, and she was like, yo, it's like she was.
I'm telling you, dude.
She was turned on.
She's like, you respect my father?
Yo, she was
when he
like took a second, he's like, this is the way, dude. Homie sacrifices.
Bro,
life.
right,
What a
that's the
homie.
way to
when
do it.
he was walking in the water, she was like, I can see
I thought
under
he was
her.
going
I can see under her
to
mask,
take his
bro.
armor off except for his helmet.
I know. That's what I think. That would have been so funny.
This is the way.
He just has his like heart boxes on.
Yeah.
This is the way.
I was going to say, I like how Grogu doesn't say anything this episode, but you can clearly see like there's character development there. Like even with just the puppet, like just with the little, like him being afraid, like when they're going through, he's like, let me scoot up and get close to him. And then later when he's going through with Bo-Katan, she's like, you gotta man up, bro. Like you can't be scared.
He's a little
And he's just like a little guy. Like I thought that was awesome. I saw someone complaining about like, well, there's no character development. I was like, this episode specifically was all about how he's grown in the Force and also just like learning all these things that Mando's been showing him. I thought it was really awesome. Like, how hard is it to show character development with a puppet that doesn't speak?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I thought
crazy.
they nailed it in this episode. And yeah, I can't wait for him to wield the darksaber, Jonah.
That's right, baby. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
It's
It could be 10 years from now. There could be a big time jump. He will rule Mandalore.
Wait, so
is the way.
does it have to be a death?
this is.
Does it have to be a death, or can it be a
No.
concede?
They conceded.
So why doesn't he just concede it to her?
Well, she's like,
It has to be in battle, like.
Yeah, why don't they just fight?
but they have to legit fight. It knows your heart, bro.
And have you seen Bo-Katan wield that way?
It doesn't know their heart, dude.
Bo-Katan would kill Din.
wielded it great. And guess what? It's not hers. It's obviously not. Stupid. Just give her the darksaber. be together.
That's right. Married. Maybe when they
revitalize
get married,
Mandalore.
it becomes both of theirs.
Yeah. Oh, loophole.
Grogu or the darksaber?
Both.
That's crazy.
But I guess the biggest thing of this episode is the mythosaur at
Literally
the
the biggest thing.
end. You know,
There's always a bigger fish.
everyone said they were extinct, and there's the reveal that there's one there.
Who would have thought? In the cave where it was. She's like,
that was a myth, bro.
She's like, that's where
A myth.
he tamed it. And it was here. And he was here. That was pretty funny.
I didn't realize how big they were. That
That's
thing was
huge.
huge.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's, for me, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit because, although we didn't say this on the podcast, but
When did you say
does it count?
after season 2,
Is it on the record?
I told
I guess not.
in a conversation with my brothers, I said, they're going to go to the mines and they're going to find a mythosaur alive.
Yeah.
So no one heard it, but I'm going to.
Oh, you didn't put it on your
myself.
phone?
No, I should
I actually
have.
said that a week before you did, so I actually get.
I'm gonna pat
But I think
myself
that's
on the
really
back.
cool. And I think for any Mando fans, the fact that we're actually going to, because it's always been like the mythosaur.
You've always heard about
Skull.
it. You've seen the signet and
Yeah.
stuff.
And so that's kind of cool that we're going to.
Yeah.
That's
It's right there, bro. This is the way.
So yeah, that was pretty sick. And I think they are kind of setting up the whole aspect of we've seen Grogu be able through the Force. He in Book of Boba Fett, he controls the
Rancor.
Rancor. We've seen it through other animals throughout the seasons. Ezra had that with the Purgle and all these other creatures. So I'm wondering if there's going to be that connection where Grogu tames the mythosaur through the Force, which would be pretty sick.
I could definitely see that happening. For sure.
I don't know if he could tame him fully, but I think he'll be able to like be friends with him. You know, like
Pals.
bro, don't
don't eat
eat
me.
us, bro.
Yeah, don't pull me down in the water.
Yeah.
Well, they've done that similar too, because
I feel
even
like
in
it'd be a
Tales of
little
the
overpowered.
Tales of the Jedi, Ahsoka does it as a baby. So I think they're kind of like setting that up in a certain way.
Is that called a certain ability?
yeah,
I'm sure it
yes,
is
it
in
is
the
because
old.
Kanan does it too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
yeah. With
And
the wolves, yeah.
I've heard that like they say
Force
that
wolf.
Anakin does it in episode 2 with the beast in the
the arena.
thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was kind of a retcon, but
yeah, it's cool. I love that aspect of the Force where you're like have more connection with nature. It's cool.
that's what it's all about. Nature.
So you think baby Yoda is riding?
I think
that
eventually.
mythosaur?
Eventually, like 6 years from now, or
I don't know. I think
what does eventually mean, bro?
I think Grogu connects with the Force with it, and then
Puts a collar on it, names it.
no. But I just think it's going to be like that's going to be one of the big things where Din through Grogu is going to be able to unite the clans as they see, because they have this whole view of like the rumors, the stories of eons past talk about the rising of the mythosaur,
Yeah.
right?
bring
he
a
would-
new era,
Mandalore,
and
yeah.
I think that's where he's going to get the clans together, because they're going to see he's got the Darksaber, and through Grogu and Din, like this whole, he tamed the mythosaur like the original Mandalorian did. So I think that's going to kind of unite the clans, and then there's going to be some conflict that they're going to have to.
Yeah, so that was a question I was going to bring up, because so far we don't really have much of a conflict. I mean, we do
There's
a
not an
little bit,
antagonist.
but yeah, exactly. So I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys see coming our way in the next episode? It has to be the next episode. Or to at least
I don't think
introduce something, to
I don't
tease
think
something.
in the next episode, but I think ultimately Thrawn is going to be the.
But how do you think, I mean, what does this have to do with anything? You know what I mean? Like, the connection. Where's the connection? So the mythosaur, okay. Bo-Katan a little bit. They want to unite their people, but how is this gonna, are they gonna get like, the Empire's gonna get a sniff of this and be like, we gotta turn
shut
this
it
down.
down.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
No, well, I think
I wonder what's gonna happen.
At this point, the Empire's gone.
right.
So
right.
I just think
Sorry,
what they're
whatever
I think
it's
what
called.
they're gonna tease. We already got the tease of Thrawn, so Thrawn's around, and I think what they're gonna do is Thrawn's gonna be the big bad guy between this era of Star Wars and the sequel trilogy before the what is it called? What is it? Final? What is it? What's the
Force Awakens? What are you talking
sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
I didn't
know,
hear
but
what
what
you
are the bad guys called in that? I can't.
Oh,
First Order.
The First Order. Yeah,
So-
that's who I was talking
so-
about. That's who I was
Final
talking
Order.
about.
I think Thrawn's gonna be the main villain through this time, and then
Yeah, but why? Like, I guess I'm just trying to say, like, what do you guys think? Spitball here with me, guys. You know,
Yeah, like
come down this trail with me.
because I feel like Thrawn's not going to be the villain this season.
Right.
not this
It's
season, but I
obviously
think they're
Bo-Katan.
I think they're setting him up.
Well,
I think
Well, they're
I
gonna
think
be
in the
together.
Ahsoka, I think they'll tease it in this one, but then in the Ahsoka series, it's gonna come out that he's like been doing stuff wherever he is in the unknown regions, and I think he's gonna invade or something, and that's gonna be Mando season 4 is then gonna be the conflict where they build everything together, and it's gonna be the Mando clans united to help Ahsoka and these other characters against Thrawn. I think that's what they're.
I mean,
set up.
you said the Empire's gone, but there are still like little things here and there,
Pockets, yeah.
right?
of course.
Well,
okay.
I think Moff Gideon is going
Like
to
Moff
be
Gideon,
going to be the bad guy in this.
I guess that would be my
Season.
That would be my guess.
Okay, so we got an
I-
answer. Awesome. So
Yeah.
you think Moff Gideon?
Yeah, I think so. But I think you're right. I think they are setting up for Thrawn to be kind of the connective tissue bad guy between this, Ahsoka, and all those other stuff.
What about you, Josh? What do you think?
I mean, I think we've already seen Moff Gideon, and I feel like Carlo Esposito was like, "Oh, I'll just wait to see what I'm going to do."
Okay.
But I still think Bo-Katan's going to.
Yeah.
I think she's going to have something to do this
I mean,
season.
you guys heard what she said. Oh, I got to get
I'm on
rid
to
of
F
him.
him up.
Yeah, well, okay.
She's- oh,
Well, get rid of him.
but now she's got the hots for him, as Jonah said. So.
Right.
Well, that happens all
Love
the time,
does
guys.
change
That's
things.
love.
You
It
do
does-
crazy stuff for love.
You do.
That is
She's like,
true.
I'm going to go get rid of him. And then she's like, oh, maybe I need to go save him. And then she's like,
Maybe I need to
dang, he looks
marry him.
good. Maybe I need to marry him. Guys, it's just love makes you do crazy things. And
It does.
She fell hard.
She fall hard.
I do think I do think it's interesting that she's kind of almost going
Long
more
time,
towards
dude.
his side of things. Like she's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like
Yeah.
his line about this
You're
is
a
the
cult.
way.
And then she's like,
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, like it seems like she's going that way. So I was talking to Luso earlier, and he was like, do you think she's gonna turn to his way? And I was like, no, I don't think so, quite that far. But I could see
Well,
her
she
definitely
can't.
going. Well, yeah, I mean, unless she's right there, she got to take a
unless
little
she
dip.
doesn't take her helmet off.
Yeah, from now
From this
on.
point on, she's good.
That's right.
I
That's a funny
would
thing.
I would put more stock in the fact that the
Put money
armor
down, dude.
ends up being bad
Yeah.
than Bo-Katan. I think that would make more sense for Din to be like so connected, to be
Armor.
like, I need your approval, and then it turns out that she's ends up doing something. He realizes, why is she doing this? This is crazy, and
she's actually Darth Maul.
no. But I think
Horns, bro.
like there are
just
rumors
blew my
that she
mind.
could be. People are like there are some people that are saying that what if she's the I can't remember what her name is, but she
Yeah.
was
She's
under
Gar Saxon, and
Yeah, she
she's
was
the
under
female.
Maul.
She's in Clone Wars.
Oh,
So that could, I mean, so I put more like 60% chance she ends up being bad,
That's not a bad take.
and then Bo-Katan and Din have to team up against her.
I could definitely see that. I think rival Bo-Katan, Din for a little bit, switches to that. Yeah, I'm going that.
I'm going that. All right.
I'm going that.
I like it.
See if I hard. I go that.
You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome tonight. Cool. Well, yeah, because that was the number one question at the end of this. I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is all awesome. But
Moff Gideon with
now
a little
what?
Snoke tease. That's what I'm saying. That's what my
Snoke.
prediction says.
I think next episode we'll get a setup of what the villains are doing.
That's why I was saying, like, they need to
Yeah.
for this series. Sorry, this what's it called? Season to have more direction.
Yeah.
To push you forward, right?
Because the fact that they've gotten to the point so quickly of him getting
He did it.
baptized,
Like,
it's
that
like
was last season's
Episode
thing.
2.
exactly. Yeah, it's
They
like-
already
we're already
fulfilled
good.
the
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
And the next
That's
the
why I
next
brought it
episode
up.
is 56 minutes long. So there we go.
So you know what that means.
Ooh, that's like 1 minute.
Yep.
Is that 1 minute longer?
Hey,
than this
well, I
last
mean,
one?
we've been getting like before. It's like a 40-minute episode. Oh, then it goes to 30. But we're getting long.
It's a good one.
good. Nice.
15-minute credits.
That's right.
Because you have to list all the people that play the Mandalorian in there. All the 18
Pages
stunt
at
people.
the very bottom.
Anything else on this episode?
I think that's it.
No,
All right.
So,
awesome episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
More to come. Now we're going to move on to the Bad Batch. Getting down to the end of the season here.
Yeah.
This was called The Outpost, I think. What do you guys think of this episode of the Bad Batch? I think this has been, every episode has been kind of getting better and better for me. This was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, anytime Crosshair's in an episode, you know it's going to be a good one. You're like, oh, it's a banger coming up. Let's go.
Literally.
yeah, no, he's definitely the most compelling member of the group, I think, just because he's so conflicted still. And I just love that the show is still playing with I think he is going to eventually maybe not come back and join the group, but at least have that final decision of this is messed up.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy now. But yeah, this episode was really fun. I loved that
Fun.
jerk face.
A lot of guys died.
You-
Jerk
Loved
face.
him.
I mean, he was such a good annoyance of a villain,
Yeah.
and the fact that he really gets what's coming is
Yeah, that was
it's a good feeling.
Yeah, right from the get go when he's like, more clones. I don't like used equipment. I was like, get this guy out of here.
I thought it was a good
you
one.
kidding
Dude.
me?
He's like,
I'm a fan of him.
Got him.
He's good, bro. He's just a bully. He's just a clone bully.
I loved the throwback to Mayday. They kind of are doing stuff together, but then when he says, "Remind me not to die on your watch," right? When he's like, "Oh, just whatever," and then at the end, he dies there. But then the aspect of, I think earlier in the season, or was it last season, when
Oh yeah.
he's talking, I think it's to Rex or somebody, and they're talking about he's like, they're just regs, who cares about them, right? But then the fact that he goes back and rescues a regular clone trooper, he's not one of the special ones. I just thought that was a kind of a really cool story development arc that they gave Crosshair. And yeah, it was just kind of when he's like, do something, you get a medic over here, and he just dies there in front of him. I was just like, geez, crazy. I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was really well done. And the fact that they're guarding stormtrooper armor.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah, I was waiting to see what I was like, that's going to be something stupid that they're guarding. And I thought that reveal was really good, where he's like, what? This is like equipment we could be using? And he's like, oh, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And then I like that line where he's like, we were good soldiers. We followed orders. Because it's like what Crosshair's been saying the whole time. And just like to have that flip on it of like, yeah, well, what was the point of everything we've been doing? Like they're just like tossing us aside.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. And yeah, just like the build up to the end was pretty sweet. Yeah, really good episode.
And the music just continues to, like, the Kiner brothers who do Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that. Like they got to do a show. They got to do a live action show. I hope they're working on Ahsoka. That would be awesome.
I could see that. I'll put money on it.
You guys want to shake?
They agree on it though.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Wait.
If I'm right,
You know, I think I think it was a good episode. I think that Crosshair's an idiot, in my opinion, because it's like how many things have to happen in front of his face where he's just maybe now realizing his situation. Like, I don't know. He frustrates me, and he's supposed to be like that,
Right.
That kind of like mixed guy.
He's your Joel.
I just hate Gray. I just hate Gray. I just wish everyone was good or bad. No, but it's like you have people who care about you, and then you turn your back on them. And it's like this guy, Mayday. It's like you didn't even really know the guy, but this is the guy. This is the moment that's like turning him. It's like okay, it's just interesting. I think the episode was good because it's just kind of just keeps reinforcing. You know, hey, they're trying to get rid of the clones. They even have that one moment where he's like, oh, it's a forced retirement, you know, and just a lot of like, these are obvious. Like you guys are getting pushed out. And we're like really forcing it into your guys' minds. This is what was happening at that time. And we're like, I get it. That's my only thing I don't really like about this episode. It's just a lot of like the same story point. And it's just like, okay, I get it. Cool. I guess so. So you guys are like, every episode is getting better and better. And it's like, this one was just kind of like a stalling kind of like episode for me. But it brought Crosshair a little bit up to where I think he should have been a little bit ago. But yeah, it's fine. I like Mayday. He was cool. Here's what I really wanted to see when I was watching that. I wish that he would have picked up Mayday's like helmet and like maybe added it to his like outfit or something like that. I think that would have been more meaningful for me. If
Crosshair?
If Crosshair picked up Mayday's like helmet or something like that, or took something of his to like signify that
I was like,
I'm not just a soldier anymore. I'm now taking this and bringing it with me, like not just like literally instead of just like figuratively. So, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good. A nice little watch.
Yeah. Then I guess the reveal at the end that he's at what's it called, Mount Tassus. Anyway, the place where the cloning facility is now. So it'll be interesting to see what they
have
end
you
up
seen
doing
that
with him.
doctor character before?
She was in the
last episode.
Yeah, she was in the episode with
the other guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were just kind of walking around.
So I told Josh this. For some reason, when I saw her, because there's two characters in the episode before, and they look like clones. Like they're both doctors. They basically have the same face, but they're both female, right? But they're wearing the outfit that the doctor from the Mandalorian that had Grogu
that patch thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, for some reason, that guy looks like those characters. So I'm wondering, is that guy just a male clone of those two female docters?
That'd be interesting.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because he's got
you might be caught up with the whole like
glasses.
eyewear.
He's like,
Because they're using
they got glasses. They're clones.
Yeah.
no, but they were like, I didn't know if it was like supposed to look. They looked very similar, and I was like, I didn't know if that was on purpose. And then after I saw them, I was like, man, that they're wearing the same outfit, and I was like, and that guy looks, they look similar. So I was like, I'm wondering if it's the same thing with Omega. Like Omega doesn't look completely like the Bad Batch and like the clones, but she's a clone. And so I was like, are all the doctors they have working on this place, are they all clones? And that would be kind of an interesting way to connect the Bad Batch with the Mandalorian. If this doctor was from doing the experiments on Tassus with cloning Snoke stuff, he needed to get Grogu because they wanted a Jedi Force-sensitive person. Jedi are non-existent anymore. So I just thought that's kind of like, would that be a way of connecting? I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
It was a weird thought when I was like, does he kind of looks like?
I would be fine either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Do you have
don't
your glasses
think it has to.
No, but then I looked him up and I was like, he does have darker skin. I was like, if you go in animation, like they could make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
find
that
out.
would be interesting. I just wonder how you would make the connection. You know what I mean? They're
Well, and what's the payoff?
yeah.
You know,
I mean, I guess it ties together the two.
Yeah,
the
but-
storyline from Bad Batch of cloning, it ties it together with Mando. So
and
it's
the
like,
payoff's like so minuscule.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case though, because
I think so.
what if we're gonna have Mando episodes running at the same time as the Bad Batch episodes? So we know that Doctor character was in the trailers for Mando. So we haven't had his episode. But what if they do something where in his episode from Mando, he's also his
he said,
backstory.
stay tuned for Bad Batch
No,
episode.
his backstory is his beginning of his character is introduced in the Bad Batch. That would be kind of interesting if they did that, where you're like, oh, it's the same character, and then it would just kind of set up.
Which guy are you talking about? So the guy with the glasses
In Mando season 1.
In Mando, I know who that one is, right?
Yeah.
But who are you talking about? The one that's in Bad
At the
Batch?
end of the Bad Batch.
So you got the guy who has the beard. That's not who the guy you're talking about. Not the head guy.
No, he's
No,
talking about
I'm
their,
talking about
their
they have-
female.
they have
And the
female-
who has the red like DBZ
Yes.
with the spiky hair.
No, she has
spiky hair.
No, there's two of them.
Oh, you're
'Cause
talking
they're
about the one in
clones.
the bun.
The one in the episode before, the one that's doing all the talking.
Yeah.
They're
Do you think they
they're
look
clones.
the same?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They seemed really similar to me, and I thought the way they both looked at each
It's
other.
the beard
I'd
that
have
gives
to
it away.
I'd have to see a picture or something.
I sent Josh a picture of both of them. I was like, would this be crazy if these are the
Okay,
same
let's see it.
character?
Show me it.
It was a while back, so
Oh, okay.
Not that hard. I'll find it.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm trying to
There you go,
think
bro.
of the-
Found it.
Thank you, man.
Look at that. He's spot on.
She's got a 5 head just like him. There you go. Spot on. So to talk about the uniform, I think that's just a uniform.
Right.
I think everyone who's in the cloning business has those
right.
same
So
kind of
he was-
shoulder pads
It's
and,
your
what I'm saying
standard
is-
clone.
and those symbols on the arms. And that's
Right.
to signify that you're a clone homie. Yeah, maybe. I mean, she has a very generic face.
Right,
to
but
be fair.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
could you
maybe.
could
Yeah,
you do
sure.
something where all like they've just shown
But
the
I'm trying
two?
to say, what is the point of all this? Like, what is the grand reveal? Or is it just there might be a crossover moment because of this?
No, because I think we don't know. People have been asking, like, where's this guy from? Like, he's got the Camino outfit. And so
Yeah.
they didn't, there was like, oh, was he on Camino? But then it makes more sense that he was on Mount Tassus because that was the Empire's location. So I just think they could tell the story of what he was doing there, and it would bridge a gap between where we see him in Mando
He's doing a lot of
to
this.
where he starts.
like, injecting
Checking,
and like stirring
M count.
things.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
like checking like vitals.
I just think not that there's a huge payoff, like, oh, it's the same guy, but it's
Right,
like
right.
it's
A
just
cool
more
little nod
it's
and
just
stuff
more
like that.
storytelling.
Sure.
Like, hey, we're gonna see what was he doing and why he was after Grogu,
Okay, sure.
without giving us that story in the
Maybe
Mandalorian.
there's more to it.
Yes,
than
they're
what we
showing.
think.
How do they know
Sure.
about Grogu? Why was he looking for him? Who gave him the mission? That kind of stuff, I
Sure.
think, would be like a backstory you can give to him without having to do it in Mando, which I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just to connect
Maybe.
that kind of stuff. I'm all about the connections.
Yeah, but like, if I did like think about who would be cool to connect, a little lab tech guy is not my number one guy.
But I think
you know what I mean.
I think
he's not the number one guy.
I think when we look at
he's
it
probably
now,
at 2 or 3, positionally.
I think when you put it that way, it's like, oh yeah, lab tech. But if there's a story to tell there,
Yeah, but like season 5 when he's the main bad guy, dude, that's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah,
it's true.
When he's wielding the dark saber.
Yeah, when he turns out to be Snoke.
There you go. See. Exactly.
No, I think there's no reason not to do little connections like that, because then it just opens up opportunities.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool.
It's called synergy between the shows. Get that synergy going. Kind of like the synergy we have on the podcast.
Yeah. Exactly like that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Flawless synergy. Speaking of synergy, is there anything else you want to talk about on the Bad Batch?
I think that was it.
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
We're
done with the Bad Batch. So I just had a question for you guys.
We're done with it.
Are you guys interested in watching Shazam at all?
No.
Because it comes out this weekend, and I was like, I mean, James Gunn has destroyed all my.
I hadn't really been thinking about it.
I will say, Ant-Man and the Quantumania, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No. But I almost feel the same way. It's kind of sad, but like, I was like initially intrigued. But then since you guys, no one's been ranting and raving about Shazam at all.
Because James Gunn.
And then you
People
guys
have to have already been seen it.
And then you guys were like, the Ant-Man is terrible. So I was like,
embargo isn't
I don't know, it kind of kills my vibe.
It's gonna be better
Yeah.
than Ant-Man.
It has to be.
Oh, yeah. I think it will be. I think it's going to be Shazam. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be the same story except with more characters and dragons. I bet it'll be a little bit better.
And some will allow.
I mean, I'll probably see it just because
I'll listen.
it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Lucy Liu. Yeah. Do you want to see it in theaters?
I mean,
DC guy. This is
James Gunn has broken
James
him.
Gunn has broken me.
This is pre James Gunn.
No,
so
but
it's the last fragment of hope.
It's not. No, it's not really, because Shazam was never. I mean,
But it wasn't James Gunn.
I heard Henry Cavill showing up at end credits scene on this.
no, but Gal Gadot is in it because they already put the TV spots, and she's.
I don't watch those, bro.
Shows up.
Thanks for spoiling
Sorry,
it. My gosh.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Spoiler,
guys.
man.
Well, now I'm
TV
definitely not
spot.
watching it.
Well, there it goes.
No, but
There
I
you
just
go.
think they're already saying like James Gunn is like, oh, this is kind of going to be the end of this universe kind of thing. So it's just like it makes it be like, well, what's the point of? There's not going to be any connection.
To shove it in his face and see, look at the numbers you can push with the old.
But it's not.
Plan.
It's going to make it. It's not. It's tracking for less than like 30 million.
And then all
can
that
tell you
money's
that.
still going to him.
Yeah.
Directly
And
into
it's
his
not.
bank account.
Yeah. So, and they'll use it as like, so no one was interested in that. But that Shazam was never really connected. They had a headless cameo of Superman. Like Henry Cavill showed up. It was just his body because, yeah, they
couldn't afford his head.
It was the Justice League stuff. He still had a mustache, so obviously they couldn't show his face.
I mean, that's a
So
better
yeah, I don't know.
alternative.
I might go and watch it just to see, but
I might go see
I'm
it.
not really that
Yeah,
interested.
I'm not.
But
yeah.
Mario, baby, in April, that movie's looking fantastic.
It's looking great. Yeah.
And hey, I'm probably annoying you guys because you guys don't really respond when I send you a text. But the Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeons and Dragon clips that I've sent you guys, those have made me get kind of. Hey, this is
After
will
the
say-
first trailer, I was like, that looks
I think
pretty
it'll be good.
So I'm gonna watch that in the theater for sure. For sure.
Yeah, it
But
looks great.
Here's the crazy thing is that every time they release more spots or little trailer things, it reveals even more how much like depth there is to some of their references that they're putting in. It's like every little thing I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's that. Oh my gosh, that's that. And it's cool.
Yeah.
Like it gets me a little excited about it. Because I didn't watch the 80s cartoon, but apparently when they're in this arena where this labyrinth comes out of the ground and they have to like run away from these spectral beasts, or whatever they're called, blink beasts, I can't remember what they're called. But the group next to them is literally looks
that's what I
exactly
read,
like the 80s cartoon teenage kids who got thrown into the game when they're in high school. So it's like those little nods are cool. Like they're wearing the exact same stuff, the colors, hair color, they look the same. This is really cool. I'm just like, that's dope. I don't know if it's going to be good, but
I think it'll be the fun.
they're doing a good
adventure
job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which is I think it's the smart way. Like it would have been dumb for them to be like, we're going to do
this
super
really serious
D&D. It's like, no, don't do that. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I'd rather see this.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll be there opening
soon, right?
End
That's
of March.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Shazam comes out this weekend. I think it's the next weekend that this one comes out.
Really? Okay. It makes sense why they're kind of ramping it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Sorry, bro, I'm not responding to those little guys. But you're just like really excited about it. I was like, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I was like,
it just looks like it looks fun. I'm like, and I love,
I love how excited
and I love
you got.
Chris Pine, by the way. So it's like anytime Chris Pine's in there, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I normally don't.
Well, he's going to be a main.
I normally don't
character.
laugh out loud.
You
But
lolled?
the first clip I sent you
With
guys
the crypt.
with the crypt, where they like, he's like, you only get 3 questions.
Oh, with the undead dude.
Like I was laughing.
Dude, I love this. I love that scene because that same situation I've seen happen in D&D games. It's called Speak with Dead, and you get 3 questions, and that's it. And it's like you have to like talk with your guys, like, what should we ask, and blah blah blah. And if the DM wants to play it like how they're playing it in the movie, hilarious stuff occurs. It's so funny. Oh, it's so great. I thought it was really funny, but I was like, that's so like accurate. I love that. It's cool. I think if they can kind of splash in a little bit of like what it is to play D&D in some of these moments, I think that's really difficult to do. But I think there might be some moments like that happen a lot in these movies. And I think if they can do that, they'll win over like hardcore fans and also just like the entry level. Like, I don't know what D&D is. Like, I think everyone's going to have fun to some certain level. And that's what I'm looking forward to with that movie.
Yeah, it should be good.
I just hope it's not too like a joke a minute, one joke a minute. Like that's the only thing
I think it might.
I think it is going to as well, but there's some cool moments that I saw. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like with the dragon and a lot of the different beasts and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. Oh. And the bad guy is like super serious. Like these blood witches or whatever they're called. Like they're blood wizards or something like that. So I think like the bad guys of this look very serious, and like the whole idea of it looks serious, but it's gonna be funny. Haha, Marvel, isn't it?
No, but no.
Dang it.
Here's the thing.
If it's clever,
Even
writing,
just from
though.
the trailer, from the things I've seen, it's more clever, funny than just the typical Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
so
we'll
that's
see.
where I'm.
Who's directing it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Joe Manganiello.
You are.
I don't know, but they've been doing a lot of activations online. A lot of streamers have been doing, like, they've been not just the Super Bowl. They've spent a lot of money on, like, promoting this movie.
Yeah.
Like, they did a spot during the Super Bowl, and then they did some, like, streaming stuff. They got some, like, streamers to do some events with the Dungeons and Dragons stuff on Twitch and YouTube. So they're going out of their way to really promote
I think it's going to do well, and I think Shazam's going to get bodied. It's not going to do good, and then this one's going to do well, and then the week after that, the Mario movie comes out. I think, or 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
I think both those movies are going to make a lot of money. So
yeah, that's gonna be sick.
Just really quick, do you want to touch anything about the Oscars, or you did send a cool photo that I thought was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, short round
and Harrison Ford.
Short round 1 for
Jeez.
Best supporting
Guys.
actor.
what? I can't remember his name.
Ki Kwan?
Ki Kwan.
There you go. See?
I don't know. What
He
you're
won.
talking about.
And then Harrison Ford, they won for best movie, and
Best
then
picture, yeah.
Harrison Ford was presenting it.
he was hugging Harrison Ford, and it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool when Harrison Ford walked out. He was up like clapping and like pointing at him. I was like, that's cool. That's the best thing about it. I watched the whole thing.
Dr. Jones!
Dude, this episode's chock. This episode's chock.
That's a direct quote. It's okay. It's allowed.
That's a direct quote from the movie, and we love that movie, and we love Short Round.
We do.
That was probably the best thing about the Oscars. Everything else was kind of there was nothing exciting that happened, which is probably good for them. But
Did you guys ever watch the Everything All at Once movie?
No, I didn't.
I fell asleep.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't make it through because I thought I had the wrong version.
Yeah, Yoshida Plex. That's where we watched it too.
I was like, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be watched. Maybe I'll wait for another version of it. But I think that might have been just how it is.
It's a weird movie. Yeah. He's the best part of it.
But I heard it's awesome. That's the thing. I don't want this to be more shocked than it already is. But I heard it's good.
I haven't watched.
I'll tell you guys after the podcast.
I know what you're saying. It's definitely an interesting concept, but I just feel like I got really bored to it. It's a long movie.
I want to commit to it just so I can have a legitimate say on it.
I think I'll probably rewatch it because I definitely fell asleep towards the end, which was like
it won so many awards, bro. But is this like
I think it's overhyped.
But is this like the Shape of Water or whatever it was called?
I think it's overhyped.
It was so good. I was like, I wanted to poke my eyes out watching that.
A perfect example is what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
She should have not won for Best Supporting Actress.
For Best Supporting Actress, and apparently she has like 2 scenes in the movie or something like that.
No, she has scenes in it, but she's
what movie was it in?
She's in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And so she won instead of Angela Bassett.
Yo, did you see her face,
Wakanda
bro?
Forever.
Did you see her freaking face, dude? Yeah. She was like,
so
when they said the name, she was like, everyone's like, ah! And she's just like,
one of the girls went, "Oh wow!"
Dude, behind her,
or one of the other actresses.
Yeah,
because I think that came out of nowhere.
What a surprise!
Yeah, so I just
totally disagree with that. She should have won it for show. She was great.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think every year there's always one movie that people are like, this is like, whether it's politics or whether it's racist, this is what's important. Like this is what we need to focus on. And so I do think. Yeah, we might talk after the podcast.
I will say, at least it's a different
Patreon.
At least it's a different type of movie that normally wins Oscars.
Yes.
That's the one thing. It's not like an Oscar baity movie that they're like, oh, this is
hot dogs for fingers.
Yeah, it's like a weird multiverse movie.
Yeah.
And so like that part of it's like, oh, at least that's different. But I don't think, at least, listen, I got through like, I'm going to say 3/4 of the movie. So I have a good say on it. Yeah. It was just like the end I fell asleep.
Oh, dang.
So,
yeah, but you're old, bro.
Well, we'll watch it this week and we'll talk about it, review it, and tell you if they should have won
Oscars. We'll tell you if the Oscars were wrong. Yeah, wrong or not.
How old? How long was it?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Wow. You know, I don't think you'd like it because, you know, you get bugged where it's like, yeah, they always die by an explosion, and you see the same.
No.
But in this one, it's like she has the same face where she's like, "Whoa!" Like when she gets teleported or whatever.
That's different.
Wait,
that's different than the reason I don't like Rogue One is because all the deaths are the same.
We do need a wrap up.
Guys, I was just saying, I don't think you'd like it. I don't know.
Well, you misquoted my.
Wait, that's a misquote. Misquote.
That's spot on.
Anyway, spot on.
Anyway,
we'll
Oscars.
continue this.
No slaps.
We'll continue this next week on the New Age Podcast. Follow us everywhere you get podcasts.
Join our
Facebook,
Patreon,
Instagram, Twitter. We don't have a TikTok anymore.
If you ask.
Did that one go away?
No, but we'll talk about it later. Anyways,
son of a bitch.
What are you doing to get us banned from TikTok?
Follow us on Instagram. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.